am gonna call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, February 23rd for the Woodbury Select Board. Are there, excuse me, any adjustments to the Select Board agenda?
I just have a question about whether we would need to go into executive session to discuss the bids.
You know, I think it's only to discuss whether we're awarding it, who we're awarding it, I don't know.
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
Do we need to go into executive session to discuss the bids?
I don't know, I thought so.
And then
It's a
we come out
contract,
and
it's
say-
about awarding a contract.
Okay, well, we've never done that in the past. We just kind
We
of do it.
usually do it at the end of the meeting or something.
Well, no, we just do it.
Oh, okay, well,
I mean, I don't care,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
we've
I guess
never done
let's
that before.
cross that bridge when we come to it,
in a couple of minutes.
in a couple minutes, but I think,
Usually, I would just, once you open them, if there's something that stands out, I might say it might be a good idea to discuss this in executive session.
got it,
Or
Okay.
I might be able to provide some support to say,
Thank you.
I think you're okay.
okay,
Mhm.
great.
All right. Yeah, and I would definitely trust your judgment on that. Okay.
Even if we did, we would come out and
Yeah.
let the meeting know, we would resume a meeting and let everybody know
Okay.
what the decisions were made.
Okay.
All right, so if there are no other adjustments, or there are no adjustments to the select board agenda, we will move on to approving minutes from February 9th. Is there a recommendation from the board
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
from February 9th, 2026, as written? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes, the minutes pass as written. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Stephen Murphy is gonna make a comment to the public.
Yes, I sent you an email today, but I'll state it here. At town meeting on Saturday, I would accept a nomination to be re-elected moderator. So to avoid a conflict of interest at Article 1 on the agenda, I will step down and yield the moderating duties to the select board. I did this last year, and in preparation for that, I prepared a script of my recommendations for moderating the election of officers at town meeting. So I printed it out, and with your permission, I'll give you a copy
Please,
here.
that'd be great, thank you.
Okay, all right,
Thanks, Stephen.
all right. And do you have any questions about that or comments for me?
Just like we do every year, right?
We've done
We did it last year.
Last year was the
No,
first
we-
year that did that with Swift, yeah.
We never did that with the previous moderator?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
So this will be like before anything at all happens? This is like the opening
No.
statement?
No,
Oh.
no, so I'm still the moderator until Article 1, which
Okay.
is the election of the moderator. So I'll start the meeting, it's only at that point, at the election of the moderator, where I believe there'd be a conflict of interest. And the Vermont League of Cities and Towns Moderator Training recommends yielding Article 1 to the select board, so I'll do that. I'll get the meeting started as we typically do, the welcome and the going over the rules and so forth, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
Yep.
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Secondly, I wonder if the select board did or will invite our lawmakers, as we traditionally do, to the meeting.
I have not.
I have not heard from them, but I can do that.
Okay. I know last year we talked about the optimal timing for that,
Right.
and I can say, 2 years ago, I believe it took us 2 hours and about 2.25 hours to get through the election of officers and the budget articles. Because I know we talked about, there's some folks that come to a meeting that would like to get that done, and then decide whether to stay for lunch and the legislators and the other business article. So about 2¼ hours, and I look back on the minutes from last year, and Representative Iacovoni started his comments at 12:10. So for the past 2 years, it's about 2¼ hours.
Well, he didn't want to stay for lunch because he had somebody who gives him a ride and he didn't have to hang out any longer than he had to. So that's why I had told him like 11:45 or something, and that's when he showed up, and then he didn't get on until 12.
Yeah.
So
I think we're consistently running a little over 2 hours.
So you want them to come at 12:30 or something, or
I think 12, or
between
I think
lunch?
12 o'clock would be great.
So with people thinking that 12 o'clock is time to get up and start having lunch, you think?
No, I think about 12:30 is okay. You know, we arrived there at 10. It's gonna be up to the voters, but, you know, and it's not a science. We don't know how long things will take, but I'm just
Right.
saying, over the past 2 years, it's taken about 2¼ hours.
To do everything, all the business.
Yeah, the election of the officers and the budget articles, yeah, and then we
So
invite.
that's, I mean, one reason why we sometimes try to drag things out is because we want people to stay and have lunch.
Sure,
All those
yeah.
women make all the beautiful lunch and stuff, and
Yeah.
if we're all done at 12:15, they're gonna leave.
Yeah, well,
So,
maybe, yeah.
just,
We'll be hopeful, we'll be optimistic, maybe they'll stay, yeah. I don't know, it's how we talked at length about this last year, I think we all agreed that this was the best approach. People that
what was the best approach?
The best approach was to encourage more people to come and take care of the business of the meeting.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll stay for lunch and just some conversation.
But our representatives are just gonna be talking during lunch or something, or?
No, we'll do it like we did last year. Well, this is what I'm proposing, that we invite them to come at 12 o'clock, at or around 12. We'll be done with the officers and the budget articles. Maybe, don't know, but based on the last 2 years, we would be. And then we'd invite them to speak. And like we did last year, we could limit the invitation, you know, where each lawmaker is given 5 minutes to speak, and then 10 minutes total for questions and answers. So it would be
I don't understand. I think the people who wanna leave in a hurry, vote and leave, have precedence over the people who wanna come and share their legislative duties with us.
But these are elected officials in my mind. Like
What?
if they have to hang out like another 10 minutes, like that's,
Okay.
in my opinion,
I think they make the rounds
What you
on
gotta
that
do.
day, knowing
Yeah.
that they're gonna see some of their constituents in action. And I'd like to believe they might enjoy it, you know, seeing the town meetings in process.
But we're the
I
only
don't
ones
think
that
it's
do it
an
on
idea.
Saturday.
Ah, okay.
That's right, we don't have to.
All right, then we're not gonna put them out that long. It might only be 10 or 15 minutes out of their day. Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
I also am in agreement.
So I'm gonna call them and tell them to come at noon.
I think
Please.
that's you, unless you'd like me to call them and tell them to come at noon, I'm happy to do that.
I'll call them.
I can say in my experience, I think it worked well last year with that timing, and I don't recall getting any complaints. No? They didn't get to me, they
Oh,
all else
yeah.
stopped.
It's gonna be great.
Right.
I've already forgotten about it all.
All right, so, any more questions or comments about that one? No, okay. And then I just wanted to ask, I noticed later on the agenda is town meeting business if needed. Is there anything you have direct?
You could have waited for that, but really it wasn't necessary. I just put in there because I thought you might come.
Okay.
Or we might have other
Yeah.
business. We might have business with town meeting stuff,
Yeah.
but we wouldn't need you, I guess.
Lily?
Potential town meeting stuff, depending on what bid we go with, we might have the option to change what our voted number is for the highway, so potentially we could chat about that.
Okay. I don't think that'll affect.
Hmm.
Or you could have plenty of notice,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
as moderator.
Okay,
I remember doing the subtracting in the middle of the meeting one time.
Right. Who brought their calculator?
I think that's it. Thanks, Steve.
okay, thank you all.
We'll see you at town meeting.
Yeah, I'll see you Thursday.
Thursday, yes, you will.
Okay. I could also announce, remind everyone, town government talk is on Thursday night.
Yeah.
A meal's being served by the library at 4:45, and then there'll be about 45 minutes of town government talk, and it's just to talk about the sort of human experience of volunteering in public service, and it's kind of an informal gathering. And then at 6 o'clock will be the pre-town meeting forum.
There's an interesting piece on Vermont Public Radio this early afternoon when I was on my way to work about town government and how hard it is for small towns to do any darn thing. I wished I'd been by my phone so I could call them and tell them how much work it is.
All of that is happening in the school, right?
Yes, in the
Okay.
gym, yep, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
And
thank
that, and the pre-town meeting is a select board meeting, right?
Select board meeting, yep.
So,
We need to warn that.
no, it's been warned.
It's been warned.
It's been warned. We don't have to do another warning. It's already warned. It's in the town report. It's on the notice bulletin boards and stuff like that. So we don't have to warn it as a separate meeting. We just have to decide who's gonna take the minutes.
And so if, and we need to record it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll need to record it, which is fine, we can record it by phone. We just need an audio recording.
Will you be coming to town meeting, Jerome?
I don't know yet, but I expect to follow it.
Okay, hope so.
And then Steve, at that pre-town meeting, does the select board open the meeting and then turn it over to you as moderator? How does that work?
Sure.
No, he opens, I think he opens the meeting with his
No, I don't think
pledge of allegiance and stuff like that. Don't you usually do the?
Wait,
pre-town meeting forum.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's-
that's, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys have called the meeting to order, and I'm happy to facilitate that
Yeah, that sounds
pre-town
great.
meeting forum, yeah. Okay.
Get
Thank
you warmed
all.
up.
Thank you, town government.
All right.
thanks,
See
Steve.
you
See
soon.
you
Bye-bye.
soon.
All right, so we are gonna move on to the Valley Lake Culvert Replacement Project. And we have Nate Seacard here. And Michael Gray's been really involved in this, as is Alfie. And I think we have bids to open today, is that correct?
You just got one?
There were
No,
two.
there's two.
Two.
No, I mean, there's only one copy. Let's see.
Right, I didn't open it. Had to be a sealed bid open here.
Are we doing it one at a time? Or same
You
time?
can still open it. You don't have an opener.
Suspense.
Drum roll?
The first one's from Alliance, at least the one that Liz opened up. Consulting and excavation,
Alliance, you said?
Alliance.
Okay.
And, do you wanna say it or you wanna?
You can say it, great.
All right, so the cost of the project, estimated cost of the project from Alliance is $297,592.
Well, here we have J.A. McDonald. And their lump sum price is $311,855. I guess we didn't budget enough.
We definitely, I can't remember what we budgeted.
$75,000.
75?
Yeah, because, Michael said the maximum that the state would do on this grant was 200,000.
200,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would be at 275.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My estimate that I provided 2 years ago was, with contingency, was 271,524.
Yeah.
So,
So we should.
297 is like 2 years
Well,
inflation.
I think the reason also you didn't get a lot of bids is the proximity of the barn
Mm.
garage building structure next to this. So, there's some strategy on how to dig this, and shore it properly and make sure that the building doesn't move. So, I'm sure there's a number of guys that were very concerned. And maybe the timing too, I mean, we put on there to have it completed prior to school opening. So,
Did we do a site visit?
no site visit.
No site, but they could have come and looked at it.
Yeah, I provided some photos in the request. It's, any of these guys that build these structures know that, I mean, unfortunately, they're kind of all the same. We're playing in the water, so, yeah. But both Alliance built the structure on Town Highway 23 last year, and Jamie Donald built the structure on Town Highway 23.
Do you wanna look at these?
Sure.
Whoops, I didn't give you the whole thing here.
So that would add $22,592 to our budget.
Well, you
If we
budgeted,
went with the lower bid.
If we went with the lower bid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Michael, are we confident that the state will,
yes,
yeah, that.
yes, it's right in
We
the
would get on
grant
that.
agreement, yeah.
Okay.
There shouldn't be
I
any
mean, in a
surprises.
project that big,
Yeah, these-
22,000.
Right.
I don't have any issues with their proposals.
Hmm?
I don't have any concerns.
No, either one? Okay.
So my recommendation would be, both of those bidders were invited to
Mhm.
bid. They work here in town, they've both done a number of jobs for me. Last year, Jamie Donald, I think, did 5, Alliance did 4
Mhm.
structures. So, I would recommend to award it to the low bidder.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. I guess we would need a motion from someone to accept the bid. We could have discussion after that motion is
Is
made.
there something attached to this one?
Nope.
That was just the one?
Yeah.
Okay. This one has a,
Timeline on it, right?
just a tentative schedule.
It's a more detailed schedule. Alliance did have a schedule in his, they're not long projects, so.
How long would this take?
I mean, they should have this done in a couple weeks. Yeah.
July 6th to 31st on this one.
All right.
I usually find the bigger companies usually take a little longer, only because there's more going on, more layers of people. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the smaller kind of owner operator companies usually come in and just
Do it?
get right on it, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Alliance is from Danville. The J. McDonald guys are obviously local too. They're from all over the place.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the bid from Alliance Consulting and Excavation for $297,000, $297,592.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Motion passes and we award it to Alliance.
Great.
You'll reach out to them and let them know?
I will reach out to both Pat and Casey. Pat from J. McDonald. And Casey from Danville. And then, so I think, so on his schedule, he also included when the shop drawings would be ready. So the deck is gonna be precast concrete. Probably like SD Ireland company or Camp Precast. My guess would be SD Ireland. They've been very competitive in the last couple of years. So they'll send structural drawings of that material sometime in May. I'll review them and then we'll get into their production line. So that'll probably be the only thing that could mess with the schedule is if the precasters, you know, they usually will tell you when they'll have them ready, but with the amount of flood work we've had, the precasters, we've had jobs last year that they were early and some jobs they were late, depending on what it was, so.
And in that, so I think the only requirement probably is that they finish before school starts, it sounds like. If they run into supply chain problems from precasters or something like that, and it pushes it out, what happens then?
I would say we would just have that conversation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a situation that's out of everybody's control.
Yeah.
You know, but it should, you know, we'll be here, it should go fairly quick. So having the road shut down makes jobs go much faster, it's a lot safer for the guys too, so.
And you'll be here to check on things, right?
Yes.
But Alfie might or might not be here,
Might or might not. Most likely not.
you think?
I'm wondering if we should get a contract with the contractor very soon so that he can order this thing to try to avoid that possibility of not having it ready.
So if you would sign the proposal, and then scan it and send it to me, when I send that to them, that's
That's the contract.
That's good enough to go, yeah, and with these projects, because they go so quickly, it's not like large jobs that could be over 4 or 5 months where you're having monthly payment applications and, you know, we don't go through the bonding process. It's kind of like, he's gonna start in July, and at the end of July, he's gonna send you a bill when it's done. So, it's pretty small, pretty quick. I know it's not small numbers to the town.
It's a small- yeah,
In the grand scheme
yeah, yeah.
of things, unfortunately, it's very small.
Nate, appreciate it, appreciate the guidance.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I will, I'll probably be in touch through email, just let everybody know what's going on when I get those drawings and when we start hearing them. We'll go from there. And then also just letting, that way you can let the community know that the road will be closed. So will I be coordinating with you on that, or you'll let me know who I'll be coordinating?
You can send it to the same email, whether it's me responding or somebody else.
Okay.
But that email will be used by whoever's.
Garage, that's the garage at woodburyvt.org.
And then maybe we could, because there's a good chance we'd be training a new road commissioner at that time, maybe it would be a good idea to CC select board members on that or something like that.
Which is select board at
Send it to
woodburyvt.org.
Michael also.
And Michael.
Yeah, I could
Right.
coordinate the town, notice stuff, I could do that when that.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, a
good.
lot of times I don't email all the select board members, just to make sure that we're not
All right, open meeting.
replying and then.
Yeah,
Have a meeting behind the scenes.
Heaven forbid we violate the open meeting law.
Right.
Thank you.
One other question on here, we started the field work for those smaller culverts.
Yes.
We're just gonna get the plans together and then you'll just have that ready work when you can.
Yeah,
do
because
it.
we haven't confirmed financing yet.
Right.
For the funds for that, so we decided, I believe, as the board decided to just get the engineering done, and we'll have that for whenever we can
Yep.
secure the funds. So yeah, keep going on that.
Okay, so I try to prioritize work, to make sure we're gonna hit the summer schedule. So probably it'll be like May-ish that I'll try to get that stuff.
Did we put that, I think we budgeted for that.
Only engineering, not,
Only engineer, we didn't budget for the culvert?
I'll put together construction cost estimates for you,
Okay.
so you'll have kind of
Okay.
hopefully an understanding of what to expect for each one of those structures. Yeah, so then you can budget for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
Thanks, Nate.
all right.
Travel safely.
Yep. have a
Thanks,
good
Nate.
night.
You too. So no need to have an executive session, to discuss bids. So we can move on to the town clerk's report.
We have 2 of the overweight permits that need to be signed, please.
These are for Gillespie Fuels and Donnie Gallison.
We all sign them or just one?
Just Diana.
Just one?
Yeah. She's the one who delegated to.
Yeah, so probably when we have our organizational meeting after town meeting, we'll have to do this again. Decide who's going to sign these. These, what, $5, $10 permits?
Single is a 5, and if they have multiple, it's $10. And then I talked to Diana about this in the office the other day, a discharge mortgage for the Pickett property. And the lawyer, there's 3 copies there was, he has done up a discharge for the mortgage, if you guys agree with it.
Is that one of the FEMA buyouts?
There's a long, long history of this, and I'd be happy to share it with you, try to make it quick. Years ago, we had a program, I think it was in the 90s, funding to help people improve their houses. And it was jointly with the Central Vermont Community Action Council and I think a state agency. And we got a set amount of money and we did a whole thing, we, grant applications and people came in and did their applications. Some of them were grants and some of them were loans, and eventually, probably 10 years later, or not more, it all got finished, except we had an overpayment. We had money that we hadn't spent, like $15,000, I think it was. And we lent that to the Picketts to buy their home, their mobile home that they needed to have so that they could move back to Woodbury where they wanted to live. And because that was sort of a strange situation, I guess it never got discharged. We did write them a mortgage and they did loyally pay and paid it off, but we never discharged it, so.
So this is just like the official, like they've paid.
Yeah,
Somebody
this
else.
is just, yeah.
Okay.
And since then, both of them have passed away.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
their children are trying to sell the property.
got it.
Right.
It's all the same thing, I made a copy for each one of you if you will. Yeah, that one didn't print, so.
I'll take that one.
Okay, so this is the 23rd day of February. Where's he going?
Not very far.
So this last part is for you.
Yes.
So Michael, this is a discharge mortgage for a loan that happened to Robert Pickett in July 2004. I knew it would be easy for them to do.
Who's signing it? Are you signing it?
Hmm?
Are you signing it?
No, we,
Chris is signing it. Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm getting confused.
but this says it's supposed to be sealed. That doesn't, I don't know what that means, just cross that out. He's not a seal.
Sign this here?
That's for you to sign, just the top one, not the bottom one. And then, Robin's gonna certify that you signed it here.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Do you want a copy, Chris?
And tomorrow night, I will be at Hardwick Elementary School for the elementary vote for officers. Wednesday night, I will be at Hazen for their election.
Mm.
Thursday's pre-town meeting,
Yeah.
and then Saturday's town meeting.
Busy
Busy
week.
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the 3rd of March, which is next Tuesday, the original town meeting, that's when the school votes happen.
Right.
I need ballot clerks.
Did you ever hear from Jane?
No.
Because I emailed her to 2 different addresses that I have for her, and I didn't hear back. And her phone number is the same, I can never figure out what it is.
Yep.
But I'm gonna try her, because she always wants the ballot clerk, but she's
Yep.
hard to get a hold of.
So far, I have Patrick Flood in one of the slots, 10 until 1. I have Diana in the slot 4 to 7.
So I didn't respond to the email because I won't be, after Saturday, I am not
That's-
eligible
you're right.
to be a ballot clerk.
That's-
Sorry,
I
Robin.
went back and forth on putting you on there, Larry.
I would have offered to help out, but I won't be eligible.
Well,
Robin, I could sit a shift if you want. I don't know if I could be a ballot clerk or not, but.
you know, it always used to be that
it has to be
anybody
elected.
could, but now Steve has brought up this thing that you have to be approved by the BCA to be a ballot clerk, so I had never heard that before,
okay.
had you?
No,
No, so we used to have, anybody else, I mean, not everybody else.
Board of Civil
Very-
Authority.
Okay, right, I'm definitely not
Very
on board with civil authority.
I would love to say yes, and maybe I'm supposed to go visit my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
break
figure it
that
out,
up.
I could do an extra shift if needed.
Um,
Do I actually have to have 2 on each shift? Because I'm there all day.
Well, back in the day, it used to have you have to have one person from one political party and another person from another political party. Plus, we used to have the entrance and the exit checklists,
But-
which we don't need anymore.
And I can't ask what party you are. So I don't know if I have 2 of the same party or not.
And there's more than 2 parties anyway.
That's right. I know. So some of that stuff is kind of archaic.
Who else would qualify?
The Justice of the Peace, the Select Board, myself.
Okay.
So, yeah,
There's
the
some-
other JPs, I don't know why we
There's
haven't heard
5
from,
JPs,
we haven't heard from
We
Mary
haven't heard from any of
Benjamin
them.
either.
2 of them.
Patrick and, yeah, and
Susan Steitley's out of town.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from Monty, haven't heard from Jane or Mary, so.
And then whoever gets on the select board, they could do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the swing of things.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have to go through one of those BCA meetings first? Or
No,
once they're on the Select Board, Madam Mayor, they're just
yeah, I think so.
open game?
Right.
that'd be a night.
Poor guy.
How do you know it's gonna be a guy that's voted in?
Good point.
How do you know which guy?
No?
That's right.
I'll let you know if those plans change.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And then I'm happy to make some phone calls if you want me to call some folks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call some tomorrow too,
Okay.
and see what,
It's possible that I would be back before 4, because you would need a late shift, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's possible I could be back before 4, but I'll check.
okay.
All right.
And I believe that's all I have.
So when you do these meetings in Hardwick and, Hardwick and Hardwick, you have to do the checklist?
Yes,
Oh, really?
yes.
Oh.
Last year at one I had 5 people and the other one I had 4.
Busy, huh? Wow.
These are the elections of the officers.
Yes.
And the budget, right? This is their annual meeting.
No, that's
That's
Budget
No,
session.
that's-
Tuesday.
Tuesday's the budget. That's why I need ballot clerks.
That's what I mean. Oh,
The
okay.
election of the officers is.
So, okay, I thought they had to approve the budget too and then the voters. Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, right? The election, did you say tomorrow night is
Tomorrow
elementary?
night is the elementary school budget at Hardwick Elementary.
And then Wednesday
And then Wednesday is Hazen up at Hazen.
Yep, okay.
so many meetings this week.
Thanks, Robin.
Yep.
Are we ready to move on to the treasurer's report? All right. Let's go, Lily.
Great. All right, so starting off, let's focus on our fund balance. Just as a reminder, I'm giving the January financial overview today. Normally happens at the beginning of each month, but it was pushed back this month. So starting on page 4. Give you guys a second. The fund balance has remained stable as of the end of January, with the exception of some money moving with the FEMA related accounts. So under restricted at the bottom of the fund, you'll see our FEMA 2023 flood all the way at the highlighted column. You see it's negative 24,000, represents the category Z refund that we should be receiving.
Got it.
Moving down to the FEMA mitigation fund at the very bottom, that 422,000 represents what we would potentially be giving back. And then the FEMA 2024 under that is additional funds, I believe ERAP funds that we received in January.
So the 422 does not include the 105 that we're hoping to keep?
No,
Right.
No.
It does not include.
that's the remainder.
Doesn't it?
That's the
That's
remainder.
what's left over.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Yep, exactly. Any questions? Alright. So moving on to the budget versus actual, there's no specific item lines that I want to point out for this month or for January that need your guys' attention. What I do want to go over is on page 3, the budget and actual dashboard. So I'm going to start giving this, oh wait, you guys, everyone's there? Great. So this is going to be included on all the financial reports going forward, and I just want to run through this report so we know what we're looking at. So first and foremost, going down on the left side of the page, you have our general fund and highway fund, revenue and expenditures, and then our total combined highway fund and general fund revenue and expenditures. Any questions before I move on?
Those numbers are equal, revenue and expenditures. That's perfect. Is that really the way it is?
Well, depends on what column you're looking at.
Okay.
So moving to the right, different columns that we're going to be seeing is the FY 2025 actual, so what we actually spent and received in FY 25. Dana, I think what you're looking at is FY 26 budget. So that's what we were expecting for this year. I'm going to skip over the box for now. At the very last column, you'll see the FY 27 next year budgeted, so what we're looking at. So these 3 columns are kind of our parameters, right? They show us what we actually did last year, what we expected for this year, and what we're looking at for next year. So looking in the box is what we're specifically dealing with month to month. The first column, before I move on, any questions so far? Lizzie?
I don't know how to ask my questions. I'm just going to tell you that I'm confused, but I'm going to listen, and maybe I won't be confused by the end of it.
Okay, great. So within the highlighted box, you have our budget, which is our expected year to date, right? So this is essentially that 570 divided by 12 for however many months that, the period that we're in. The actual is what we're actually spending, or what we're actually seeing for where we are now, and then the variance between the two. So, Lizzie, does that clear up any of your questions?
So we're looking at now through January of 2027. Is that
We're looking at January of this year, so 2026.
Which is July of last year, 6 months plus 1 month for January, and so.
okay? So we're
That's
starting-
7
starting.
months.
So starting at the beginning of this fiscal year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're technically, right now, we're in period 8 is February. January, what we were going over was period 7
Okay.
of the year.
That helps.
Okay.
Less confused now.
Great. So as noted, negative numbers mean an unfavorable variance, right? So the unfavorable variance that we're looking at now is in the general fund, about negative 16%, essentially meaning that we are spending more than what we have brought in for our general fund. The highway fund is the opposite, since we appropriate our funds in November in full to the highway. So there's a surplus of that $266,650 that we're operating at. And then our net position, which is at $213,301. Yes.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
In your box, year-to-date through January, period 7,
Uh-huh.
down at the bottom, Lily, you have total revenue budgeted at 767,846, and the actual is 1,116,864, with a positive variance of 348,838. Is that variance due to the FEMA money?
No.
Okay.
No, FEMA would not be covered in this because we're only looking at our general fund and our highway fund.
Can I ask how much? Why that large variance?
Because of our couple things. One, we have delinquent taxes this year,
Okay.
right, upwards of 260 that we hadn't had.
Wow.
And then there's other funds that come in throughout the year, talking
Okay.
clerk fees, grant funds, state aid, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this kind of looks at our total revenue and not just tax revenue.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Lily, in the first column,
Mm-hmm.
in the box, the budget column, is that the entire budget for the year, or is that the portion that's through this period?
Through this period,
Okay.
right, of like what we expected in a perfect world, every month was exactly the same.
Okay.
That's where it would be.
Okay. Thank
It's
you.
like 570,426 divided by 12 times 7.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
And in our general fund, the fact that we've spent more, our expenditures are greater than our revenues, is likely gonna change as the year goes on, because we will bring in more revenue
Yes.
because of taxes that come in late or things that we haven't received yet. So there's not a huge concern about this negative 16% at this point.
Not at this point.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Any additional questions?
No, I
Okay.
think you explained it well, thank you.
All right, great. Oh, only last thing that I will note. So if we end the year, right, in a deficit, and we want to make that deficit up the following year, so let's say we end in a deficit of $10,000, and we wanted to make that up in tax revenue in the following year, that would affect taxes on approximately about $160,000, which is the average in Woodbury, additional $12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, great. Cool. So then I wanted to go into the passive insurance meeting that I had this past week. I met with them just kind of trying to figure out why our rates are so much higher, and if there was anything we could do to bring those down. It was very informative, and so there's a couple things that I want to go over with you. The main takeaway is that fire department 2023 flood claim is the biggest driver to increasing our insurance rates.
About our claim of the town office,
as well.
but not as.
Not as big, but
Okay,
yes,
okay.
also affecting it. So even though the fire department is no longer on our insurance, that claim is going to affect us upwards till 2029.
Mm.
Yeah.
Till 2029.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for any property claims, those claims affect rates for 5 years, essentially.
Alright.
Similarly, with workers' comp, the past 3 years of workers' comp claims affect, for 3 years, oh goodness, that didn't make any sense. So for workers' comp claims, our rates are affected for 3 years, and we had a large claim about 2 years ago that are affecting those rates there. So on top of that, the going rate for certain insurances has increased over the years as well. They did give me one option that we could explore if we wanted to really focus on bringing rates down, and that would be to reduce the agreed upon values of town buildings. So this process seems like it would be fairly intensive. It would include negotiations with our insurance company and potentially appraisals, professional appraisals done of town buildings. If that's something we want to explore as a town, I can go back to them and get more information on what that process would look like.
Didn't they make us do that a couple of years ago? Seems like they
I
did.
feel like they did.
chose
Because I
to,
remember you,
we didn't do that voluntarily.
Yeah.
We
one
did,
or two of you did some work on that.
I feel like I recall we talked a little bit about what it would cost to replace some of these buildings.
Yeah, right.
And so I just want to make sure that I understand. They're suggesting we decrease, they're not suggesting, they're just providing one option is we could decrease the value at which our buildings are insured
Yes.
for replacement.
Mhm.
But then if something happened, we would be,
Mm.
yeah, I think it's probably not worth going down that.
Yeah.
plus the cost of the appraisal
Cost
to
of
do
the
that.
building is not going down.
No.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good option.
So yeah, that was pretty much the only option they gave me for immediate changes that we could think, which, yeah. Finally, Passive also shared 2 funding opportunities. We've got the Safety Technology Grant that covers 50% up to $2,500. I connected with Peter on this, and Elke, I'm more than happy to connect with you on this, but I think you're familiar with this grant
This is
option.
the grant,
Yeah.
the training grant.
It was a safety grant.
Oh, safety.
Or-
Yeah,
Yes, the Safety Technology Grant. And then there's additionally a safety training scholarship that covers up to $5,000. Good news is we budgeted for a training program for FY27 at about $1,000 that Peter's recommending the crew takes. That training program could be covered under this scholarship.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I connected with him on moving forward with that option. Yeah. So in discussion, before I move on, any questions?
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I just have one question about the fire department.
Mhm.
So the fire department filed a claim through Passive. Fire department used to be on our insurance, okay? So how much of an increase is Woodbury going to sustain for the fire department filing a claim on our insurance?
I did not get the specifics, but considering how our rates have gone up so significantly, I would say it.
Significantly?
Yes.
Has anyone approached the fire department to ask them to pay the
They were
difference?
so upset with how Passive dealt with them that they decided to go to a new insurer.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, so
however that
we're stuck
happened.
with the
so
residue of.
shouldn't someone go to the fire department and say, hey, because you filed a claim, now the town of Woodbury has to pay for the next 4 years extra because you filed a claim?
Mhm.
I would compel them, or somehow try to compel them, to pay the difference.
Well, does it really matter? Because it's all, I mean,
If
it's all
not-
tax money anyway, you know? So like the taxpayers are paying.
Yeah,
One way or the
but
other?
still, it just doesn't seem, tax money aside, you're right,
Uh-huh.
you're absolutely right. but still, just for clarity,
Sure.
you know, why should the town of Woodbury be paying a premium for an insurance coverage that doesn't exist anymore, number one?
Sure.
You know, so to me, that just doesn't make sense. And secondly, is Passive the only insurance company out there that we could be insured from?
Certainly
Fine.
not. No, there's definitely more that we could
Sure,
move and go to.
yeah, I would
You
shop
looked
around.
into that a little bit,
talked-
right?
yeah.
And there,
A little bit, I would say, my personal opinion is that Passive works specifically with municipalities. Their coverage is tailored to municipalities, and it also includes flood insurance, which other independent insurance companies don't bundle, I guess. Because I did talk about this a little bit with Passive. So I would say it's more so in our best interest to stay with Passive since they're so municipality geared. But I'm more than happy to explore other options, but it would take a significant amount of time to do that.
But they could be telling you that because they don't want to lose that business.
Very true.
Well,
But
yeah,
didn't
but
you
also
also-
they're a large pool, you know, it's not like, you know, there are benefits to being in an insurance pool.
Lily, didn't you also find that there's like almost no other towns that don't use Passive? Like, wasn't there just like one?
It's a very slim, there's more than just one that don't use Passive, but Passive definitely has the majority of towns
And it seems
in
like
Vermont.
that someone's probably done some research. You know what I mean? Like if everybody's using them, maybe that's a stupid way to think, but it just seems like probably it's because they're the best.
Yeah. They provided a why we're the best pamphlet.
Okay.
So, like most companies do. If you guys want me to send that over to you, I certainly can. But like I said, I'm more than happy to research other insurance companies and look at what that process
I
is.
think we decided not to bother to pay you for that because we really didn't, at the time, when we had this discussion already, didn't think there was much opportunity to have it changed. But what do you guys think? Should she still be chasing that?
I think, I wanna think about it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on the next meeting.
Guess
Okay.
what? I won't be here.
We're gonna call you up and
You
say,
better say your opinion now then.
My opinion is, right now, we did talk about it, and I think we had already agreed that it didn't really make sense to put a lot of time into looking, but you guys might make a different decision at the next meeting.
you can stay and find out.
I don't know, I think I have a date with my snowboard.
Would you guys like me to find out what the exact number increase it is?
That might be
for
useful,
everybody?
yeah.
Okay.
If you
Yeah,
don't
I
mind
can
doing
do
that,
that.
that might be useful.
All right. I also got to talking with them about the school building lease. They offered to review our lease to kind of clarify where liability stands between the school district and the town regarding that building. After they reviewed it, they sent back a couple suggested amendments to the lease. If the board is interested in looking at those amendments, I can get them together and bring them at our next meeting, if you guys would like that.
Good, we can look at it.
When is that lease due to be?
It renews automatically July 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, what kind of work is that to amend the lease?
Well, I mean, you guys would have to approve the amendments and then you'd have to present it to the school board.
Yeah.
But it won't be as big a deal as it was when
No, it
the
wasn't.
lease was first being
No, that-
decided on, so
That was
it's just an
a
amendment.
lot of work.
They were grumpy.
Yeah, they weren't
They
very
were
nice.
grumpy.
School. Yeah, well,
Most of the grumpy people are gone. Even there,
Moving on, brought up raccoons in this meeting.
alright.
Turns out they're not considered vermin. So, yep, so
They're
any,
just rodents.
just rodents, I guess, yep. So any damage that was caused to the garage, that was, we'd say specifically from the raccoons, we could make a claim and essentially get it covered by passive. Our deductible is about $1,000, so just letting you guys know.
How much of a claim, like for a new roof or?
I don't think it would go
A
that
couple
far.
sheets of plywood?
I don't think it would go that far, but
No.
I'm sure the price will probably cost.
Probably replacement of insulation.
I think the
And the sheetrock.
insulation,
Yeah, and the
the
sheetrock.
insulation is the big problem here.
Yeah.
They've crawled on it up and down, and they've got it packed.
Yeah.
The result of that is a foot of ice built up on the roof.
Yeah.
And the cost of the heat that we are losing because the insulation has failed. So it could be substantial if we can really pin the blame on to these critters.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So is it bat insulation or cellulose or
Well,
what?
it's bat,
Okay.
it's fiberglass,
What's below it? Is it sheetrock or plywood?
sheetrock.
And that is probably contaminated, like, it would have to come out to replace the insulation anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But it's probably contaminated, and so the raccoons are at fault for it needing to be replaced.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume, I mean, plus the roof does leak in some spots here and there. You know, so that anytime you get a leak in the roof, you start softening the sheetrock and it turns to, you know, when it's wet, we all know what that does. So then the weight of the critter, if it's 25 pounds or 30 pounds, wherever they are, they go right through the sheetrock, and that's what happened.
So if we, assuming if we file a claim, they would send out an adjuster to take a look at it.
Correct.
And how do I ask this question? Like, let's say that they, I guess I'm also like if it, maybe I need to think about my question a little bit more. They would approve a claim of a certain amount of money. I guess, do we have anything to lose by filing a claim other than the increases our rates?
And they
Go-
probably
looking-
won't, they
going
won't be able
forward.
to tell us how much, right? Like, I'm pretty sure if you call an insurance company and ask, they can't tell you.
Well, that would be the adjusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The adjuster would
Or,
give
I
you that.
mean, they can tell us how much money they could give for this claim, but they can't tell us how much it's gonna raise the rates. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, right, no, they
Yeah.
won't,
Fair
Yeah.
penalty.
Right.
so we don't get to like weigh that.
you won't know that
unfortunately.
until a year down the road, probably when you get your policy renewed.
Yeah.
When you'll get that
Mhm.
hit. Same as the fire department, we're a year, beyond a year from the claim that they, put in for the flood.
Yeah.
And now we're just getting those numbers, so anytime there's a claim, it's a year before it affects your actual.
I mean, if they did replace all the insulation and all the sheetrock or screwed plywood up there,
Mm,
it's
Significant.
$15,000
right.
Without even touching the roof?
without
That's
touching the roof.
No, on the insurance, does it break down how much was the fire department and how much was town office?
For the increase, no.
Does it?
I
I
think,
know,
I mean,
it'd be nice if we could like.
I was gonna say, because if it did, you
Yeah.
could almost,
Like do the math on it and find
Yeah.
like a, yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I think they gave us $30-something thousand for the town office.
Well, if we could take that number and whatever the fire department got, and then the number that it increased and find the, whatever the percentage is.
yeah,
That might be a kind of ballpark.
yeah, I'd say so.
So going to the, this is a kind of an aside skip, but going to the passive before going to FEMA, was that required?
It was, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
okay.
What's everybody's feeling about filing a claim for the town garage?
I mean, that's why we have insurance,
I
right?
think that's why we have
It's kind of
insurance.
stupid
Yeah.
not to.
But are we looking at a job that's, or work that's gonna have to be redone, and if we decide,
The
will we
roof,
decide what to do with the roof?
I mean, the roof's just screwed on metal, to, like, in my opinion at least.
There's
That
no,
could be
no
replaced.
underlaying, no plywood or anything? It's-
Well, there probably is, but,
There's plywood and strapping.
right, but so you
And
could
there's
do.
places, this is gonna snowball into something.
Yeah.
Something big.
Mhm.
Because the place where the raccoons fell down, you look up and there's, the wood that's underneath the tin is rotted.
Okay.
So both the strapping and plywood has rotted. and that's just one spot that I can see up in there.
Yeah,
You know, who knows about other spots throughout the whole roof.
so the
Cause
rafters
you've
could
got
be
rafters and
compromised.
stuff, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rafters start rotting and, you know, I mean, now you're taking the integrity of the whole building.
But say in a worst case scenario, the entire roof system, the rafters, everything needs to be replaced. At least we can get the insulation and the sheetrock and some of the labor paid for. And then, you know, obviously we're not gonna replace the insulation while the roof's leaking, cause that would be stupid, but
Right.
like,
I
when
mean,
the whole
ideally,
job
you would do the
happens.
whole project at once. Do
Yeah.
the roof, the
Yeah.
underlayment of the tin, whatever it be, ends up being, if it's strapping or plywood,
Uh-huh,
and you insulate it, all that should be done at the same time.
yeah, I
And
agree.
then you can know how bad it is, you know, once you, and as far as the adjuster, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna wanna see. I mean, you know what I mean, these critters are crawling in between the rafters. So it's 18 inches, whatever it is, and so they're just treading on that insulation, packing it down to no art value whatsoever. So how do we know how bad that is? You know what I mean?
Holes.
So, but so
You'd
there
have
are.
to take the sheetrock down in multiple places and really evaluate to see if the whole building has to be done, or if it's just some spots. Now, I know how adjusters work, they're gonna go as little as possible.
Mhm.
Well, they're gonna deny the claim, I think, of the rafters, based on the fact that the roof is leaking.
Well, I mean, if it's pretty obvious that like the insulation's been trampled, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they couldn't deny it. I don't know. It seems worth it to me to file a claim.
Alright.
I think if you get something out of the insurance, that'll help you with the overall repair.
We just
Right.
have to,
Yeah.
we can save, I mean, they'll give us a check and we can just save it until
Right.
Cause we need to have the roof
And
fixed
then put
before
it
project,
we
right?
Right.
re-insulate and
And we're not fixing the roof until
weather gets a little better.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it may take that long for the adjuster and the,
Yeah.
you know, for the claim to go through. And so then maybe we could, you know, hit the ground running in May or June.
How do we go about filing a claim, having never done it before?
You're gonna call it, you're gonna call passive and tell them the situation, and then they'll send the adjuster out. And that's sort of how the ball starts, and then it's sort of, they take it from there.
Okay.
And I'm assuming they'll communicate with Lily or whoever takes that on.
So there's, thinking about the roof structure not being a carpenter, but there is some kind of rafters holding up the tin, right? And then there's another layer, or is there just one layer?
Are they trusses or are they
Then
rafters?
what are those things called that are,
They are rafters.
They're rafters, okay.
Right, so they go from the drip edge up to a steel beam, and they set on that, and then they go up to, and then they start down the opposite way.
Yep.
So the rafters are, you know, the whole building is not very valuable, let me just say that, it needs a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and with this ice is not help. Now we've got water running inside the walls, on the back wall. The guys went up and chipped the ice away as much as they could and got a lot of the water to run. But there's still, like I said, easily a foot of solid ice because of the heat loss. The heat loss from the insulation is just letting all that water run down
Yeah.
and knock it off.
And that also, you know, like, once that ice starts building up, it starts lifting all your screws and lifting all your
Right.
roofing nails up, which
Right.
leads to more leaking.
Right.
huh,
Sorry, Alfie, did you say there's plywood decking or just strapping? There's
It's both.
both, okay.
It's both. I don't know, unless they replace or fix the strapping, or replace their strapping in certain spots with plywood. I didn't look at,
okay.
I mean, there was like a 4x4 piece of sheetrock that fell down, so that's all I can see.
Yeah,
Right,
okay,
the rest of it's all covered with sheetrock, so you can't really see the whole picture,
gotcha.
you know,
So you didn't go up there with a ladder and?
No. No, I didn't stick my head up.
Maybe
in
we're
that.
raccoons up
It could have been, it could have
Yeah,
been
no,
interesting.
that'd be
It
too
could be little
easy.
babies up there and stuff.
So, I think it would be wise to at least explore the option. They can always turn you down and then you're back to square, but you might get something out of them, out of the insurance. If it's indeed, if critters are covered by insurance.
Lily, you're willing to make that phone call?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, certainly, yep.
So what percentage of the whole building is the value of the roof? I mean, you got doors and walls and stuff like that, but the roof itself must be pretty expensive if you were doing it from scratch.
Right, well, yeah, the issue with that is the roof, the insulation, and also the ceiling below. And if you open that up, God only knows what you're gonna find. I mean, most of the electrical stuff is below the ceiling. But if the water has gotten into the walls, and how long has that been happening? I noticed it this year because of, you know, it's a drastic year for ice buildup. But if that's been happening for several years, we may have rot in the walls also.
Black mold.
Mold, right, there's, you know. So I think I know where you're headed, is it, do we spend $40,000 on the roof structure when we can spend another $100,000 and have a whole new building? I mean, I don't know, I'm just using rough numbers, but a building that size, you're probably $200,000 or $300,000, you know.
I mean, that's the cost of one culvert, right? We just,
That's right. We just signed off $300,000 for one culvert, that's right.
yeah, maybe we
Very
should
true.
do 5 years.
A very elaborate.
So, you know, a suggestion that I would make is maybe we should start looking into grants. I mean, they get grants.
Really?
Other towns get grants
Oh,
for garages,
really?
yes.
Oh.
I mean, town East Montpelier is putting a building up right now
Yeah.
that is enormous,
Yeah,
and that's covered by grants.
whoa,
Maybe not all of it, but a lot of that is being covered by grants.
state grants or,
Yeah,
yeah.
state fed, it comes from the feds and then it goes to the state.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's good then.
So it's one thing to look at for the future, maybe we can get a grant that'll cover a $400,000 building, you know?
What's the, space, how's the space there?
It's
If you had to
terrible. It's not
build a new
enough.
building, not enough, it would
It
have,
would be bigger.
yeah, is
I
there
mean,
room?
Speaking about $300,000, we spent $300,000 on a grader and it sits out in the cold.
Yeah.
To me, that's a terrible thing. I mean, for 3 weeks, we couldn't use the grader because it was so cold.
No.
It's got these, everything new has got DEF fluid in it and it freezes. So if it freezes, the computer will say, nope, I can't run, I don't have DEF.
Yeah,
So for 3 weeks, the grader wouldn't run. We were out there putting tarps on it and try to heat it up, warm it up. You know, if we had another bay, that grader could stay in where it's warm, it would start on demand.
is it deep enough for, or does it need to be?
We can get it in the garage,
No, it
yes,
could go in
but
there.
we need trucks
Well,
in
you
there,
mean, yeah.
you know, so we can't leave it in there all the time.
Hmm.
So, yeah, this is a big one, big project, but I think it's time to start. At least start thinking about it and start, you know, investigating. Because it's a necessary thing. I mean, I've had people comment to me about, you know, the town has a $400,000 fire department, but they don't have a place to keep their equipment. And
Yeah.
the fire trucks aren't worth nothing if the town trucks aren't rolling. It's just the way it is.
And they
So,
hardly ever had to take them out. I mean, that's a good thing, but.
right,
still.
so I just think, you know, we ought to be looking at, a new shop, a new garage to house these very expensive equipment that we buy. We have to have it. We have to have it.
Well, this is a longer,
It's
there's a longer
beyond,
discussion,
it's
yeah.
beyond our
Yeah.
time of
Yeah.
conversation, yeah.
To
Just
today's kind of.
One more question. The lot that the town garage is on now, is there enough space there to increase another bed and still be within the proper boundaries?
Not really. It's not great. It's not great. I
So
mean,
not only a new garage, it would also sound like a new location.
Ideally, I mean, if you're gonna build a nice facility, you should have room around it. I mean, we're pinched. We got, you know, the sand pile takes up a big space. And on the other side, in front of the building, we've got gravel that we store for the spring. We're really,
Yeah, and the land drops off
in the land
very
drops off.
steeply all the way
Yeah.
around the usable part.
Yep.
I mean,
Into
there's
the wetlands.
potential, we could maybe buy some land from one of the neighbors and then just fill it in. But it would take years to fill it in, and then it's hard to build on it. But you could gain some more parking space or storage area. So there's options there, other than just starting from scratch, buying another piece of land and all of that. You know, all things that, you know, would need some research and some legwork, of course, but.
We did move the boundary a little bit, a number of years ago. Jeff Weiss gave up some of his property.
I remember that, although I don't remember.
That would be the
why.
way I would wanna go.
Right.
Would be towards his, we could just fill in for that.
Towards the back is wetland, right?
Um, the back is wetlands, and you know, going further into Jeff Weiss's property, it does drop down to wetlands there too. So, and sort of over towards, the Lily's house, that's kind of seepy too,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
So anyway, not to, you know, make this a bigger topic than it needs to be right now, but it's worth thinking about for the
Yeah.
future of the highway department.
I mean, look at how long it took to build a fire station.
Right,
Hope it wouldn't be that long, but.
right. But if we could get a grant, I mean, that process itself takes some time, but, it's, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
You just have to start somewhere.
Well, I can call the East Montpelier Town Clerk and start trying to get some information from her about where they got that money.
And CDRPC would be probably helpful in grants too.
Ready to,
Sorry to interrupt.
So where were we at?
Who brought it up? It was the meeting.
I know, those dang raccoons.
Right, every good one.
Moving on, as long as you're ready.
Yep.
Offer letters. So on page 16, I created a draft offer letter for you guys' convenience. I do want to request from the board and or the highway road commissioner that when we do bring on new people, that I receive a signed copy of these. Something like this, doesn't have to be the one that I created, just made it for convenience. But it's best practice for my job, right, for the transparency aspect. If anyone comes knocking, I have to have a piece of paper that says I am paying this person this much because I was assigned to do so. So as long as this looks okay to you guys, I can put it on file, and when we decide to hire somebody new again, I can send it over to you, I can fill it out, for you guys to stop by the office and pick it up.
It's great.
It looks
I
good to me.
mentioned that, paid time off would that be under benefits or,
I could put an extra bullet point there for paid time off.
I mean, that is a benefit that won't, you know, our part-timers won't qualify for any of these, but they still might get some paid time off.
So you would want a motion to approve this as our, yep,
Yep,
with the amendment of including paid time off.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a motion from the board?
I'll make a motion to approve this letter that Lily came up with.
As a job offer for new hires,
Mhm.
with the amendment of a new bullet to include paid time off. Is there any discussion?
Well, every one will have to be, written
Personalized.
separately, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a good start to have a shell.
Any discussion, further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Lily.
Great, yep.
That's great.
Just as a heads up, our 2 new part-timers for road crew, I'll need one of these for both of them.
Okay.
Okay. What are they approved for? Part-time, on-call, half-time, what?
Part-time.
Part-time? But when, how do they know when to show up?
They get a phone call.
Okay.
They either get a phone call or it's pre-scheduled. Right now, we're mixing the two
Uh-huh.
in between. They're both limited to how many hours they can work.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to mix it up,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and stay within those limits.
So between the two of them, maybe 40 hours a week, or you think? Or-
Yeah, it depends on the weather, of course.
Well, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, right. Okay.
it's hard to predict, but, one of them is limited at 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
That's his max, and the other one is, we have to keep him under 30, so.
Hmm.
So, I don't wanna mention any names yet, I mean, but
Well,
we can put that in this.
Lily, can I ask a question? Will you get those forms to Alfie, or is that the easiest way
Yeah, it's
to do it, or to
probably,
Peter for that matter?
well, he can do, you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
just sit there and, at your computer, and he can give you the
Yeah.
details, and you can
mm,
fill it out.
yeah.
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 So is this something that VLCT suggests we do, or why is this?
I just need to have backup. Essentially, everything that I do has to be proven that I've been told to do it. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted it, and it's just best practice for HR practices to have offer letters on file.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with it, I think it's good, I'm just wondering where it came from.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got minutes where the select board approved hiring,
Mhm.
part-time people.
Just that specific number
Yeah, but we don't always
and benefits.
get into the
Yeah.
specifics, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can come to your office and we can do it.
Yeah,
together,
make it
or you
easy
can just
peasy.
make a copy and I can fill it out the best of my ability and.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for getting that done, for now.
Yeah, no problem.
Ready to move on?
Hmm.
So, I did want to talk about, our health insurance, during this meeting. So I started doing monthly balance sheet reconciliations. It's something that was recommended that I start doing in some of the training that I've been doing. And I found some discrepancies with our, health insurance liability, specifically our employee deduction share. So just as a background, every payroll that we do, we deduct a certain amount to cover that 50% share for our employees.
That what, 15%?
15% share.
15%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, we have been seemingly deducting more than we should have for our employees. It seems to have been going on for at least a couple of years. So after finding this and discussing it with NIMRIC, their suggestion was to find the difference owed to the employees over the last 2 years, and reimburse them. So after calculating this number, I also ran through it with one of our auditors, who also agreed with my approach and how I calculated it. The total due from 2024 till date is $297.13 per employee. The total cost to the town would be $594.26.
You said that's been happening since 20.
It seems to have been happening before that as well, but to get into the nitty gritty and figure it all out would have been very large undertaking, I probably would have had to call in somebody else to help.
But presumably, we couldn't have been overcharging them that much per month if it's been going on a long time.
Yeah,
Right, it was a small amount, so.
small
Good.
money. Essentially, we calculated as if there were only 4 weeks in every month in the year,
Okay,
instead of 4.33 or what have you.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was a small amount, but built up over the last couple of years.
So the one where we pay the, what do we call it? Where we pay the premium assistance,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't, this only applies to the ones. that-
On our insurance
Okay.
coverage, yep, correct.
Now you got, per employee, and then bracket 2 times.
2
Two
employees,
employees.
yeah,
Okay, so it's not the 2 years.
No,
no.
Lily, I think that makes sense.
okay. I don't know if I need a motion for that from you guys to be able to,
I think you're just reconciling the accounts, I don't
Cool.
see any reason.
and then essentially paying them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Also, I've included on page 15 our 2026 health insurance contract. It's an additional contract that they have us sign on top of our renewal contract. I'm the health benefits administrator, so I sign it, and I'll get that sent in this month. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's getting processed. Last thing, I wrote up a quick little synopsis of some of the changes, the reasoning behind the changes from the FY26 to FY27 budget for you guys to use at town meeting if you so please. Just kind of wanted to give a synopsis of, and this is on page 17, synopsis of the changes that we're seeing and what's driving it. The major thing is it's costing more for just about everything, equipment, people, insurances. We're still trying to make it out of not collecting enough tax money the past couple of years. I shouldn't say that, not collecting enough tax money in FY25. And then also the additional cost for increasing the HERF. So.
This is great, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have all this in one place.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of discussion that goes on, you know, with budgeting and what's changing, why it's changing and whatnot, so you guys have some snippets.
Great,
Thank you for writing that up.
Of course. And that wraps me up.
great, nice work, thank you. All right, move on to our road commissioner's report. I did speak with Peter, he called me, let me know that he couldn't make tonight for very good reasons.
Yeah, words have it out.
Yeah, so, just wanna let you know, he did touch base.
Yeah, so not a lot to report. Been a lot of snow. And the one big one that I'm a little nervous about is salt. We cannot get a hold of salt. I've ordered it 2 weeks ago and they're saying, don't know when I can get it to you. So we're trying to, limit the use of that and then try to do it at more specific times, like at the end of the storm or when we know it's warm enough where it'll work. But we're very low on that, so if you get calls and concerns, complaints about the blacktop not being clear, that's what it is.
Where are the places they get it? It's like Foster Hill Road, that lower section, right?
Yeah, Foster Hill and Cabot Road.
Yep.
Mainly those are the only two, and a little bit around the old fire station in Town Hall. But, those are the main one, the more concerning one is the Cabot Road, because of the trucks.
Just out of curiosity, I've had this thought. What if you lay down sand, what happens if you lay down sand on?
Oh, we do, we will,
Yeah,
I mean, we have.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work the same.
right.
You know.
Seems like Foster Hill maybe could take more sand than,
Yeah, that would be my guess too.
right,
Yeah.
rather than save the salt from the Cabot Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, there aren't any granite trucks going up Buster Hill.
Right.
So.
Obviously, gotta slow down a little bit.
So other than that, we finally got it warmed up enough so we could get the grader running. We've been out pushing snowbanks back, making more room, cause I don't think winter's over yet. And it's hard to see, sometimes a lot of the intersections you can't see when you're pulling out. So we've had both the grader and the loader out pushing banks back and making more room. That'll go on probably the rest of the week, to get that caught up.
Thank you for moving the snow by the ramp down at the town hall.
Yes,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's, it's the best way I know is to push it straight in there and then we just move it again with a loader,
Yeah.
when time allows.
Yeah, it was getting kinda hard to shovel that snow up over there.
Yeah, right. Another thing that's on my agenda is to get that trailer, exposed again, so that people can see it. It's the time of year, contractors are trying to get their things together, so I'll try to get that dug out so that people can get their eyes on it. Truck is sold, I don't know if we talked about that last meeting, but that's gone. Everybody seems to be happy about that.
How about the one that needed to be fixed?
Don't have a lot of information on that. I did get a price for a brand new, all ready to go, and it blew me away. 160,000.
Whoa.
This is, remind me which,
This is
550?
the 550.
160,000.
160, that's, it's all set up with the plow, wing,
Yeah.
regular dump body. That's the Cadillac truck, sort of. But I didn't figure we wanted to chew on that one, so I haven't mentioned it. Still looking at options as far as just the truck. The issue with buying just a truck and putting the box sander in that we have is there's no pump. These trucks don't have a hydraulic pump, and that sander runs on a pump. So, still researching, still trying to figure out. It's looking like we may have to fix that truck. That's what it's starting to look like, rather than buy a new one. For multiple reasons, you're never gonna get that money back that we spend for the repair. But you're also gonna take a hit on the value of it if it's not running. So it's kind of a catch-22. But with the price of trucks and all of that, and the situations that we're all in, we might be looking at repairing that.
But right now you're not using it, or?
No, we can't use
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, the exhaust comes inside the cab, so much.
Oh, okay.
Remind me, that was like a $14,000 fix? Is that what it was?
10?
10?
Said
10.
10.
10 was the max number that I've gotten.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was from the Ford garage, so we might be able to find an individual that might be able to do it cheaper for us. If we weren't so busy, Peter might be able to do it, us at the shop might be able to do it, but that takes away from, the stuff that we're supposed to be doing. So I'm kind of steering away from that, because it's a fair amount of time.
Yep.
And coming and going from it, you lose parts, you forget,
Yeah.
you really want somebody to get on it and take it, start to finish. So that's sort of where we are with that. I'm going on vacation again next week.
Good work.
So still be available by phone, but Peter and the guys seem to be keeping up with the snow and the events so far. Peter had to call me one time because he had a question about labeling something, but it was a simple thing, and so he caught me up, brought me up to speed, and seems to be going smooth. I don't know if
Yeah.
Anybody is noticing the change or not, but it seems like things are happening the same as if I was here.
He called me a couple times and seems confident and
Yep,
knows what he's doing and
yep,
seems good.
yep.
I wanted to mention, I did go over this with Peter, but when the Board of Adjustment was talking with Wheelhouse Motors about their fence,
Yes,
we talked about what they're doing with, they're cleaning up the snow in front of the fence on their own.
yep,
And it was, somebody thought they shouldn't be putting that on the town's property. But he pointed out that it's the town's snow. You know, and would somebody else would have to be cleaning it up if they weren't.
yeah.
And so, you know, we thought it
So
would be
I
okay to
was-
just let them put that over there. I don't know.
Yeah, Ronnie Langevin was the one that moved the
Okay.
snow. He was hired by,
Yeah,
the garage.
Yeah.
And Ronnie asked me if it was okay.
uh-huh,
The town puts snow there also.
Yeah.
From different times throughout the winter, so
Right.
if it's, I didn't see it being a problem.
no.
It's just snow, it's not a bunch of waste, it's not a bunch of mess at the end, so.
And if they don't, you know, you got the big equipment so you can keep pushing
Yeah,
it
we
back.
can push
if
it
you
back
need to.
further if we need, right, right. So, yeah, no, they asked permission and I
Oh, okay, oh,
I
good.
granted it, so,
Good, okay.
yeah, we're covered there.
All right,
I don't see it
Thank you.
being a problem, it's just gonna melt away. But more importantly, we can keep that clean.
Right.
And so we don't have a visibility problem,
right.
and also a room, you know,
Who cleans up around the pole there?
we did,
Okay.
that would've been us, yeah.
Oh, okay, you did that already? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I try to keep it open all winter with
Yeah.
the plow truck,
Yeah,
but sometimes it gets built up.
Yeah.
It's, you know, when the storms come, we gotta get it done as quick as we can.
okay.
So did the Board of Civil Authority approve the fence? Where
The
did that
Board
land?
of Adjustment
Adjustment,
wants him to move it back out of the right of way
ah,
by July 1, I think, something like that. Because it is like 7 or 8 feet.
okay. Fair enough,
Yeah, I don't know if that was really their, but whatever, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, if they'd have asked,
right, exactly,
they'd have asked ahead of time and asked for a permit, which I think that's part of, that's the rule.
exactly, Yeah.
They wouldn't have to move it.
right.
Any questions on roads?
Enjoy the vacation.
Going warmer this time,
Warmer than Florida.
yeah, Puerto Rico,
Nice.
Oh, cool.
yeah. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be hard to come back from.
It's gonna be very hard to come back from. Yeah, but I know I gotta get to work after that. It's enough playing,
Last hurrah
yeah,
for the season.
yeah,
Thanks, Alfie.
yeah, very good.
All right. Mr. Skip Lindsey, our recovery officer, and that's the report.
Yield my time, no. There's 3 here.
Is this our timeline?
Yeah, and other things too. Was it 3?
Yes.
Okay. And 2 more for the ladies over here.
Oh, for,
Or Robin,
Yeah.
really.
Thank you.
So why don't we begin on Tuesday, February 10th, we had a Microsoft Teams meeting, that's a video conferencing application, and that was sponsored by Vermont Emergency Management. Chris sat in on the meeting, and there were representatives from FEMA and Vermont Emergency Management. And the first sheet is a synopsis of the meeting. This was prepared by FEMA. So this was FEMA's take on the meeting. And I have a couple of comments on it. The 4th bullet down, it says FEMA expressed that they typically do not retroactively change a scope of work. So I indicated to them that you didn't have to do it retroactively because you knew about the scope of the work. You know, and it goes on to say, you know, once a project's completed, they don't typically change the scope of work. Well, they knew this is the crux of our issue with them. They still don't want to admit that they had the scope of work, a change to the scope of work as early as August of 2024. Even though, you know, emails bear it out that we did change the scope of work from a bridge to a galvanized steel pipe culvert back in August of 2024, and subsequently through other emails in October, December, January of 2025, you know, they just, for some reason, they just don't want to admit that those emails exist.
But they do.
But they
We
do.
have them.
Yeah, oh, sure, and they have them.
Surprised that whoever wrote the scope of work that included that $1 million project, I can't believe that that was you.
I didn't write that scope of work.
You did?
I did not write
No,
that.
no.
The Wolf scope of work?
Yeah,
No,
no.
I just gave that to him.
You
This
just
is,
gave them that
Yeah.
one-page list and
Yeah,
they
I
thought
said-
that we were, that
This-
meant we were gonna do that.
this is all we have,
Yeah,
and it was,
we
I
just
told him-
needed a number.
Yeah, so anyhow, we all know what happened. So, and the last bullet, this really irked me. It said the applicant does not want to approve the revised scope of work and cost on the bridge project at this time.
Oh, for God's sake, I thought they already did.
Well, and that was actually, what's interesting is that was his recommendation that you not do it.
Right,
Yeah.
so, and that's one of the reasons why it irked me.
Yeah.
He advised me not to sign the scope of work until we were satisfied that all the money was there in the scope of work and the actual cost, where all the actual costs were captured. Okay, he said, don't do it. I said, I don't want to do it. So now, in the meeting notes, it's like, I don't want to do it. And it's like, wait a minute, you know. So anyhow.
That's also documented in an email though. Am I
I-
correct? Because I remember reading it.
I did. I
Yeah.
had to, because it just, you know, I didn't like the way, you know, the inference is that I refused.
Right.
And it's not, I told him that, you know, we still had invoices for stream alteration permits, which Lily found fortunately, and was able to send to me, and they're posted up on the grants portal. So, in an email to Vermont Emergency Management and this guy, Mr. Tallman, I said, you know, they're up there. As soon as you put them onto the scope of work and it reflects the actual costs, the actual expenditures, I'll gladly sign them. So far, they haven't done that,
Oh, geez.
so. So unfortunately, I don't get really upset, because my level of frustration with these folks are, you know, right through the roof now. And interesting that this gentleman, this new person, Joshua Tallman, he is part of a group that claws back money. He's a recovery officer.
Oh,
Yeah, so I was curious about his title.
You're a
because-
recovery officer.
are you, yeah, you're.
Yeah, but I'm not that kind of recovery officer.
Recovery from the flood damage versus
Right.
recovery from money.
His title is Emergency Management Specialist Recovery. So he's the person who comes in and claws money back. So I asked him in another email, when are we gonna meet next? You know, because it's important that they digest all the information we gave to them. And we have a subsequent meeting. Well, it's fresh in everyone's mind. And so the only reply I get was, he's gonna review it with his leadership and get back to me when there's a meeting.
Are they shut down right now?
You know,
Yes, they are.
FEMA's
FEMA
shut
is
down
shut
right
down
now.
pretty
I
much.
bet we might not hear from them for a minute.
I don't know if they're shut down or they're working without a paycheck.
Oh,
You know, being
Yeah,
shut
that could be-
down,
That could be true.
you know, not being allowed in the building and having them take your computer away is different.
no,
from-
that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm presuming that they're working, because big storm in Boston, they may need some FEMA
Yeah.
money in Boston. And they're headquartered in Boston, at least District 1 is for FEMA, so. Anyhow, on the second page, I've been communicating with Peter Welch's staff that Chris had set up that communications channel with Rebecca Ellis. And so I sent her the meeting minutes and all the information. I sent her the timeline too. We'll get to the timeline in a second. So her responses, and she's very good in her response. She said, looking at your timeline, we'll get to the timeline. It seems like the documents from January 24th, 2025 would be particularly important to pull out. And we'll get to those. In case it's helpful, she was on VLCT's website, and there's a URL for this, Common FEMA PA Audit Compliance Findings and How to Respond. So when you go on that webpage, this is the greeting page on their website. And it appears as though that FEMA is trying to not only audit a lot of folks in Vermont, but also claw back money as well. So we're not alone in this. You know, it's just that our case is, I don't know if it's different from everyone else's, but, you know, I think we have a solid case to tell them to go, you know,
Well,
pick on
earlier when
someone
Nate
else.
was here, he was talking about some other towns that are going through a similar situation.
What does PA stand for?
Pardon me?
What does PA stand for? Does
Public assistance,
Public assistance.
that's the program.
So, anyhow, and just on the off chance that Kim Konarecki has not been sharing any of my emails with her supervisor, or has not been sharing them with FEMA, I sent those 3 letters that we put together under your signatures for utilization of excess obligated funds, FEMA scope change, failure, and mitigation projects and use of excess obligated funds. Sent them to Kim's boss,
Joshua.
Which is
who is Mark Johnson.
Oh, he's the Texas
Yeah, he's the guy, yeah.
Southern accent
Yeah.
guy, yep.
And sent it to Josh Tellman, who is from FEMA. So I was requested to put together a timeline, and if you go to the last couple of pages, this is my timeline I put together. And it's just a distillation of all the emails that we've sent to FEMA and to Vermont Emergency Management with the dates associated with them. And like I had indicated before, we sent an email on May 8th, 2024 with the H&H studies. And remember, the H&H studies had 3 different ways to fix the culverts. And so FEMA and Vermont Emergency Management knew that in May of 2024. And then continued May 10th and July 10th, and especially July 10th. Email indicates that H&H studies recommendations will become Woodbury's RFPs for scopes of work. So anyhow, their assertion that they never knew about the change of scopes of work is just like ludicrous. And one thing that Rebecca Ellis pointed out, she said that the emails on January 24th, 2025 to Vermont Emergency Management, once we knew what the budgetary costs were for these 2 culvert replacements, I sent an email to Vermont Emergency Management saying, hey, the cost of the actual cost is going to be different from your estimated cost. So it's right there.
Yeah.
And then he writes back, if you complete the projects for less than the federal estimate, you must document and use the excess funds for other town road projects and keep a record for a federal audit. And that's right from Kim Konarecki. So I don't know how much more we can do. So still waiting for some sort of notification or some sort of response from FEMA regarding our next meeting. And, you know, perhaps the shutdown may impact that, it may be delayed. You know, I don't know. You know, I haven't heard from them. It's been quiet since Friday. Usually I receive emails from Kim Konarecki 2 or 3 a day, but nothing.
All this over $105,000.
Well, yeah. Well, if we hadn't spent the $105,000, I suppose we wouldn't be going through this.
Well,
Yeah, but they told us we could.
You're exactly right. So we just followed their
And
instructions.
it,
Yeah, I
wasn't
know.
it Kim specifically who told us that we could? Or am
That's-
I? Is that
That's-
correct?
That's my last
Yeah.
Yeah.
bullet
Oh,
in
it's Kim?
the timeline, yeah.
Yeah.
For BEM, yeah.
That was from Kim.
Yeah.
I've never met her, but I'm extremely unimpressed.
I think she's in over her head.
Yeah,
Well,
doesn't give you an excuse to be
yeah.
dishonest, and she's being dishonest.
Well, she's in a very powerful position, so, I don't know anything about her. She must be competent, being in the position she's in. Give her the benefit of the doubt. But the more I correspond with her, the more doubt I have. let's say.
So, on another note, I did finally get a call back from Senator Sanders' office today.
Okay,
Well, and they left a voicemail, and I called them back. It's hard to know because you don't get the same person
sure, yeah.
that leaves the message. So, when I talked to Senator Welch's office, they said that they said you don't really need to, don't bother calling Becca Balint's office now because we all kind of work together and
Sure,
those
yeah.
things. But I kind of went through the whole thing again with I figured the more guns,
Yeah.
the better. I don't mean that literally.
But did you give my contact information?
I didn't because I was talking to somebody who
Okay,
was going to relay messages.
I see.
So I'll wait to hear from if anybody have.
Because I can send them all the information I've sent to Senator Welch's office gladly. But back to the VLCT webpage, I couldn't get on it. I tried to get on it, but I've lost my League of Cities and Towns credentials after I stopped being chair of the select board. So I can't get any further than this page.
That's not right,
Well, I know it's all right. I'd like to.
they're so selfish about that. I mean, you probably can't get on there either, can you?
I can.
Really?
Is there?
I mean, we're paying them $10,000 a year to put on all these little
Yeah.
affairs and.
Yeah, looking at this just on the surface, just on this greeting page, it's like, this is some of the things we should probably be aware of, how to respond. But I couldn't get beyond this because it kept asking for my username and password. And
Can you get another one? Do you need some
I would have to
authorization?
pay for membership in the League of Cities and Towns. And
Sorry.
go ahead.
Do you want me to, get copies of whatever PDFs are on that page and send them over to you?
Yeah, that would be good,
Okay.
yeah. But it would be easier if I somehow surreptitiously could get in
But
there.
you're an official,
Fine.
yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, we appointed you.
Yeah, but I'm
sure.
just, I'm not an official. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
I have a
But-
question, sort of just about this whole thing. Like, I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but I don't feel like we've really talked about it. I feel like at some point, unless FEMA says, "Oh no, okay, we screwed up. You guys can keep the $100 and whatever $1,000." I think we're in our rights to get a lawyer and take it to court because we're obviously in the right. It's documented. Does anyone else feel that we should be ready to do that? And then at what point should we be making calls to lawyers?
I think we already decided to go the appeal route.
Right, there is an appeal.
So-
Remember I sent some information regarding the appeal process?
So we would wait through that, go through that first, and then the lawyer thing would be like
Right.
a last step if they still refuse to budge. It just seems like if they're being so dishonest currently in this process, they're gonna do the same thing in the appeal, would be my thought.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they are
Trust them.
being truly dishonest. They're just refusing to acknowledge
They're
information
just,
that-
they don't want to say that they might have made a mistake.
But they didn't make a mistake, and you're putting the information in their face. So if they're not willing to recognize that, then
Did you
Yeah,
catch
it's
that?
honest.
How so in this phone call, Joshua Tallman was subtly trying to convince us that the appeal process could be a negative thing for us.
Yes,
to,
he said that more than
Really?
once, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
he said that there would be an extensive audit and that they could uncover things. I'm paraphrasing. Uncover things that would lead us to lose the entire funding. But everything is so, you guys
Yeah.
crossed your Ts and dotted your
Oh,
Is.
yeah.
I'm not worried about that at all.
I'm not either,
Yeah, but he was definitely not wanting us to go down that route.
right. He
So
said
what's
that you
that?
don't want FEMA attorneys poking around,
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
So, do you guys think it's worth us seeking legal counsel before getting into this whole appeals process? I'm just
I
wondering.
might start with these folks.
Yeah.
Find someone in the League of Cities and Towns, because they have attorneys. Find someone in the League of Cities and Towns who is kind of an expert at audits, because it's not only happening to us, it's, I'm sure other towns are feeling this crunch. And, you know, hopefully they have documented, you know, their stuff too.
Right.
But I think what Danielle and I and Alfie and Lily and Brandy have put together, you know, will stand up to FEMA scrutiny. You know, we've done everything.
Well, I think it would stand up to any reasonable person's scrutiny. I just don't trust that they're going to scrutinize it in an honest way.
They
But-
did, I made that argument about a reasonable person, and they didn't like that argument. I
The
did,
guy,
because that's
actually,
it.
the guy from Texas, he actually agreed with you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was the only reasonable person on the phone.
That's right.
Well, how about this? If you look at those PDFs and it seems like it makes sense. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but unless Skip has an account, the VLCT won't.
That's
speak to
correct. Unless
you. I'm happy to make the phone call to them.
well, if Lily, once you, if you can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get onto this, you got a copy of this? It has the URL. All I have to do is
Yeah.
click on it, and it'll come up to the screening page, and you'll be able to take a look. It'll be what's underneath this. There's a series of PDFs.
Okay. Yep.
So what else? That's it. You know, I've been corresponding with Kim Kanarecki. I just don't understand why. You know, she has all the stuff, but she keeps asking for more stuff. Same stuff.
Same stuff.
Yeah, maybe she's trying to make you crazy so that you won't be able to argue.
I just keep sending her back the same stuff.
Indicating that you've already sent it already. Which is great.
Yeah. Here's my email from August of 2024, you know, or even sooner than that. But, you know, I did some quick calculations here somewhere, and, oh, here it is, thanks, Alfie. So anyhow, the new totals are the total projects for Town Highway 23 and 24. We'll be getting actual costs. 80 or not 90% of the actual cost from FEMA will be $288,275. So that's from FEMA. From the state, which is 7.8%, will be another $24,984. So that's a total of $313,259 for both projects. So it's a little bit more than I think I had in my latest spreadsheet, because these are the actuals that I put up on the grants portal. So that's the bottom line.
All we can do is wait.
Yeah, they haven't made a decision yet.
I wonder if they're working reduced hours or something.
I'll email Kim and ask her to.
All right, thank you, Skip.
Welcome.
I'm not sure we have to do any more town meeting preparations. I mean, maybe we do. But did you want to talk, because we did get information, you want to talk about the Swenson update?
Yeah, we got a rude awakening, or rather, a rude change of direction. Back in December, I contacted the coordinator in District 5 office and told her that we know this application is pending and they're holding it as incomplete. Just wanted them to know that the town is definitely interested and we want to participate, and we hope they'll just have a hearing and not make us go through the process of requesting a hearing, which is just another pain. But, so she knew that, but then, and on December 28th, I think sometime in December, she sent a letter to Swenson saying that, they needed to have something from the town before the application would be complete. December 18th. The district commission is finalizing a review, blah, 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 criterion 10, schedule B indicates the local approval has not been obtained. Please file a copy of the town's decision. But I guess that doesn't matter anymore.
Because they,
Because I
another
don't know,
email came in today saying that they've approved
well, they approved,
the application is complete.
no, well,
The Act
not
250
exactly,
The Act
but
250 application.
what they did was they put it on, notice as a minor application, which means that if they send a draft permit, and if there's no complaints by March 17th, this permit will be issued to them. So, yeah, I was hoping that they wouldn't do this, but they did, and, I forget what I was saying.
How did they
This
phrase
is
it?
really a different take on it, and I don't know why, whether somebody from Polycor got to them or something, or, I mean, they should have at least told us. They should have told me if they decided to do this, but they didn't. They just sent this stuff out,
Can you,
and now we have until March 17th to decide whether or not to request a hearing. And,
Which we should,
what?
which we should.
Yeah, maybe, but we might be able to work things out in the meantime so that. The consultant is working on a response to the last hearing, and he said he should be getting that to us sometime this week.
would the Act 250 hearing be a public hearing?
Yeah,
I would advocate for having a hearing.
what?
I would advocate for having a hearing,
Yeah, really.
yeah.
I don't know why they would not. I mean, whether they're so busy or whether, I don't know. The district commission is Don Marsh, who we know from Marshfield. We've hired him before. He's a retired engineer, semi-retired. Gary Nolan, who is Howard Menashe's, I don't know if he still works for Howard, but he was Howard Menashe's materials person, so he knows all that stuff. And another person that I don't know, a third member, but for some reason they decided to push this out there. It also says that they won't issue the permit until certain stormwater permits from A&R are issued. So those are still pending, but they decided to get this going anyways. So,
Yeah, so the language is, the application was deemed technically complete on October 8th, 2025. Which I thought that's before the date when they said
Right.
it was incomplete, right?
yeah,
I thought they were waiting for, I thought they needed a approved change of use permit from us before they were gonna
exactly.
accept it.
Yeah, well, that's why they wrote this letter on December 18th saying that they needed some response from the town.
Mhm.
So are you saying they changed it to a minor application
They
from?
didn't change it, they hadn't decided how to
Hmm.
process it, and I encouraged them to just have a hearing. But maybe this is just another push, maybe this is what we need, I don't know.
It says no hearing will be held and a permit may be issued unless on or before March 17th, 2026, a person notifies the commission of an issue or issues requiring the presentation of evidence at a hearing or the commission sets the matter for hearing on its own motion, which they didn't do, right?
Right, but they still could.
Ah. So how do we encourage them to set a hearing on their own?
We would have to, convince them that we have evidence that needs to be presented at a hearing. The other option that we should consider is working with the applicant to come up with some permit conditions that if both sides agree to them, maybe they could just amend this permit, this proposed permit and add those.
No, does that, I'm assuming that has a lot more clout than like our town permit, but if the town issues them a conditional change of use permit, like the conditions could be in that, but is this more enforceable because
This
it's
is
Act
enforceable,
250 and
yeah.
our stuff is kind of like,
This is
can't really enforce
enforceable,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, if we were to come to some agreement on some permit conditions and the Board of Adjustment didn't agree,
Mhm.
they wanna issue another type of permit, then, I don't know, then we'd be up in the air, I don't know.
My understanding is that they had to have both, right? They had to have
Yeah.
both
Yeah,
approved.
yeah, plus they need this municipal impact questionnaire, they don't have anything under criterion 7 or criterion 10.
So how can the application be deemed complete then?
My point exactly, your point, oh, good point though.
All right.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, that's why I just can't figure out why the sudden change, yeah. I mean, they didn't tell me, you know, you have until such and such a date to give them your town approval or not, they didn't do that.
Well, they did.
No, they didn't give us a date.
I thought it said March 17th.
Oh, that's a different, but I'm talking about when they said, when they sent this memo that said that we needed to have a town permit filed, the schedule indicates that the local approval has not been obtained, please file a copy of the town's decision. This was, of course, written to the applicant. They didn't give any time limit on that. You would think, I mean, they could have written this proposed permit and they could have put in another, condition subsequent to come out, saying that, you know, a town decision must be also submitted before it will be complete, but anyways, they didn't do that.
So what are our next steps?
Well, I'm gonna talk again with, the applicants, that the applicant's going to respond to the hearing from last week, was it, last week?
From the zoning board?
Yeah, zoning board. And then we can get together at some point and decide if we wanna meet with them again.
Meet with Swenson again, or,
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
engineers?
Or just go back and forth with some proposed permit conditions and see if we can make people happy. The tower is a big thing though, that's really messy,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's messy as far as who has jurisdiction, their lease has expired, we haven't seen the lease, so we don't know whether the 5-year increments for renewal are in the lease. Now, according to Michael Birnbaum at the meeting last week, he didn't indicate that he had a firm commitment to the lease being renewed. So, and he didn't, I don't think he's mentioned having an attorney, but that was really, Swenson doesn't want to disrupt our emergency services, but, and I don't know at what point they're gonna have to move that thing. You know, whether it's a year to negotiate, or 2 years, or, yeah, I don't know. That's gonna have to be
They're working
worked out.
almost all the way around it.
Huh?
The tower?
They're working almost all the way around it.
Already? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, you know, I don't looks like they're working right up.
Hmm.
They've got a big dig right to it,
A big what?
a big cut in the granite
Oh, really?
to it,
Oh,
yeah.
huh. And they don't wanna just go around it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
They don't
have to take granite from the top and work it down,
Hmm.
and so if the tower's there, they
Hmm.
can't work that
Mm.
area.
Huh, okay, that's interesting to know. So I don't know whether our emergency services people are, well, I did send out a request to the fire department and our rescue squad, the local one.
Were you guys at the meeting? I didn't, you were, Michael, but
I wasn't at the.
you were at the meeting.
No.
So Cloud Alliance, just a little background, Cloud Alliance has a
Yeah.
tower there.
Yep.
And they provide internet service to some folks. But in addition, like I think Woodbury Fire Department and some other organization that.
Well, there's
manages-
Velco and Capital Fire Mutual Aid.
Yeah, they all have rent space on the tower.
They
for their
co-locate on the
radios.
tower.
Yeah.
Yep.
We do all this. So,
And the,
So they'd have to move the tower, make it taller, and do a radio frequency propagation study, and off you go.
and it sounds cost
Yeah,
They have to get a
prohibitive.
different
You've
permit
been
so they
reading
can
this-
move that tower.
Yeah,
right, exactly,
I think
right,
it's cost prohibitive to Cloud Alliance to do so.
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Well, if you co-locate, say, cell phone provider, I'm sure the cost would go down. You know, put
I don't think they're,
T-Mobile, AT&T, someone up there, Verizon,
Help them share the cost.
yeah.
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 All right.
It would be good for the town too,
Yeah.
more cell service.
yeah, I don't know why they don't have that.
I don't understand that, never understood why they wouldn't put, you know,
Yeah, that's what everybody wants.
cell antenna up there.
Did you say that you used their tower for your internet?
Mhm.
Okay,
I do.
so there are
I
some people.
can see the tower from my
Yeah,
house,
yeah.
so it's good,
Mm.
good fit. I don't want more cell service.
And I kind of
I want less cell service.
They would
That's
go
because
to
you're on the select board, Chris.
no cell
I don't need to
service.
talk to anybody.
Skip, I'll send you that Con Alliance letter, you probably find it interesting. You get a whole page of the steps that they would have to go through to move that tower.
Excuse me.
Well, yeah, it would be work.
Yeah,
I don't think I would move it, I would just build a different tower, taller, some other
Uh-huh.
place.
Well, I think that, right, I think that was the only way you could do it.
Yeah.
And he was afraid that would be cost prohibitive, because you couldn't just rebuild the tower, because that would leave people without services for a couple months.
right.
Well,
they
yeah, you
didn't
would
want
have
to do
to
that.
install a fresh tower and
Mhm,
do some transition work.
Yeah.
mhm.
It was, used to do that back in the day.
You're a tower installer?
No, God, no. Engineer.
So I guess, just to recap, Lily's gonna send you the PDFs for,
VLCT.
VLCT, thank you. Too many letters in my brain. And then, in the event that you need to get in touch with somebody, we'll figure that out in terms of legal representation. And then, Diana, you're gonna, in terms of this Swenson thing, I still don't know what our next steps are. It feels kind of urgent, but maybe
Yeah, it's a little more urgent now, but I think, you know, we've got a new board as of next week, so there'll be some education that has to go on there.
okay. But then we only have, if we want to request a hearing, we only have maybe it's not even a month.
Not even a
We
month.
have-
17th.
But after the town meeting, it'll only be a few days, or, 2 weeks or
That's
so.
a week, yeah.
So anyways, I mean, we can do that, but I don't know the process, whether it's like an arduous process to request a hearing or not, I guess. That would-
Yeah, I don't really know either.
And would this be a time that we would want to call back in David Meter?
I already emailed him.
Okay.
He he was out of town for a couple of days, so he was also surprised
Okay.
at this reversal. So, yeah, I'll ask him.
Okay.
Ask him whether, we should, what would be involved in requesting a hearing.
Okay. Good.
Okay. And Michael, do you have any updated numbers on the Cabot Road bank stabilization that we haven't budgeted for?
No, I haven't heard anything about
Okay.
any progress for that.
Because if we're gonna ask them to kick in on that,
Mhm.
it'd be good to have something. I think what you sent me before did have some number.
Yeah, that's been, those have been the numbers
Yeah.
since the beginning of the project, yeah.
All right, well, unless we have any other town business to attend to, we can approve bills and payroll orders off air. Going once, going twice.
Motion adjourned.
All right, motion to adjourn.